The arrival of those evacuated from China sparked debate in Limpopo in and around the country. The ANC Youth League in Limpopo threatened to march in protest against the arrival of South Africans who were trapped in China. We'll go to that story later, but let's try and reconnect with Samkele now, who's at the Union Buildings. Samkele, what's happening on your side?
Behind these closed doors, which you can see on our screen right now, is the executive meeting of the Cabinet of the Republic of South Africa, chaired by President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa and his Deputy President David Dabete Mabuza, who will receive reports from the Minister of Health, Dr. Zwelini Mkhize, whom has just confirmed a few minutes ago that the number of cases in the country have risen to 51 from the numbers that we had yesterday at 38. They are now at a staggering 51 in the country. The numbers are rising. Earlier on, speaking to the SABC News political editor Mzwandile Mbeja, saying definitely by this afternoon there will be numbers increased on this particular COVID-19 virus. His words proved to be true, and it was not even in the afternoon. It was this morning that the numbers were declared to be increased by the Minister of Health, Dr. Zwelini Mkhize. But let's just listen to one of the cabinet ministers who is part of this particular meeting. That would be Fikile Mbalula, the Minister of Transport, responsible for the public transportation system of those who are largely dependent on the services rendered by government, who are largely using metro rail trains, who are using public transport, saying if this particular virus were to get infected to the downtrodden and the poor, it was going to be catastrophic for the Republic of South Africa. Let's just listen to Minister Fikile Mbalula.
If there are drastic measures and decisions to be taken on coronavirus going forward, they will be announced by the designated minister. And government insists with this matter 24/7. It is. South Africa has been handling this matter very well, and then all measures going forward will be announced by appropriate cabinet minister, and cabinet insists with the matter. I'm part of that cabinet, and I am very much aware as a Minister of Transport how this will affect, not even how it affects the people who are commuting on daily basis. We are feeding into that overall strategy as government, but our government, you will realize, it has not been acting on the basis of, instinct, but it has actually been measured and taking people along, because it is a pandemic, but we need to be measured and lead properly. Now, it's not ad hoc that we're dealing with the matter. 24/7, government insists with this matter. All government departments, transport included, led by the Minister of Health, we have actually been making pronouncement on this particular matter. I can't as Mbalula out of 10, because I know in my sector in Cape Town, 2 people are reported to be having a virus speak about it. It has to be the Minister of Health, because collegiality and organization. This is a serious matter. It's not a matter that we can play around, talk about it out of 10 and disorganized. We've got to be organized. And how we move, President have directed, we're moving in that direction.
What is the suggestion? That was the Minister of Transport there, Fikile Mbalula, saying that there needs to be cordiality on how government communicates on this particular matter, and that if drastic decisions and measures need to be taken, they will be taken at this meeting taking place here at the Union Buildings. The numbers are rising, as Mzwandile Mbeja said, that we need to take action as a country, and the President needs to address the nation on the methods going forward and how to deal with this COVID-19 virus. As the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces and as the leader of the Republic of South Africa, he needs to provide direction. A number of countries such as Rwanda have imposed a number of various measures to make sure that they deal with the curb of this particular pandemic. They've closed their schools, they've stopped all sporting events. As a matter of fact, here in the country, the Super Rugby, which links between 4 countries, South Africa, Argentina, that would be New Zealand, Australia. They've cancelled the Super Rugby that will be taking place after this weekend. Next weekend, that will not be taking place. You go to England, you go to countries such as Italy, the Serie A football is no longer taking place. Spain just yesterday has imposed a number of various restrictions in their particular country. The United States of America as well has imposed travel bans with European Union countries. You go to other countries that have also taken measures on how to dealing with this COVID-19 virus. You go to Germany with their airline Lufthansa, who've cancelled about 24,000 flights within that particular country. It looks as if the global pandemic that's currently taking place is proving to be an economic catastrophe for other countries, and airline businesses will be largely affected. The question is, which direction is the South African government going to take, and will they be preventing this particular virus from spreading and going to those who are downtrodden and poor? Largely, it's been affecting those who are sustainable and who are able to travel to other European countries, to Asia, to South America. You go to Brazil and how this pandemic has affected them. Even their president testing positive of this particular COVID-19 virus. Our own Shawn Bryce-Peace reporting from New York and in the United States reported that that particular president of Brazil did have a meeting with President Donald Trump of the United States of America. They've taken some action, but question is, what will South Africa be doing after this cabinet meeting that is chaired by President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa?
Of course, along with the rest of the nation, we await the outcomes of that meeting. Samkele Maseko there for us from the Union Buildings.